Hi everyone, it's very windy here on the island today. I hope you can hear what I'm saying anyway. I hope that this mic works as it should, so that you'll hear me, despite the wind. So, I think that most of you are familiar with the saying that if you only have a hammer, if a hammer is the only tool you have, everything will look like a nail. Every problem looks like a nail if you only have a hammer. This is very applicable to the climate discussion. You know that climate alarmism is massive almost all the time, but especially so when the IPCC, the United Nations Climate Panel, comes out with its big reports every 6 or 7 years or so. Big scientific report, which summarizes the science as far as we know up until now. And just the other day, a week ago or so, it came out, the IPCC came out with its latest scientific report, and it has been reported in the media in the most alarming terms, of course, and much of what it's saying has been misrepresented, as often happens. And it's been coupled, this event that the report has come out has been coupled with a number of spectacular extreme weather events in the world lately, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, which is common during the summer. These extreme weather events are many of them are common during the summer in the Northern Hemisphere. But anyway, even I have been flabbergasted by a couple of these happenings, these events, particularly some temperature records. I've already been talking about that spectacular heat wave in Canada, and now we have a possible new European heat record set in Sicily the other day, but it has to be confirmed by the meteorological authorities of Italy first, so we're not completely sure about that. Anyway, so it's very difficult. We know a few things, of course. We know that the temperature is rising. I'm not saying that climate change isn't happening, or rather, I'm not saying that global warming isn't happening, because global warming is happening. It's a no-brainer. We know that. Temperatures going up. And to a large extent, it probably has to do with the release of CO2 and other greenhouse gases from human beings. Not all of it, most probably, because a lot of this increase in temperature, which has been going on since the 1800s, must be natural, because in the beginning there was too little CO2 releases from humans for that to have any significant effect. Lately, though, after 1980 or so, it's probably part of the problem. So we know that. So we know that there are more warm days, fewer cold days. But if you look at the trends and averages when it comes to other kinds of weather extremes, the IPCC is pretty clear that you can't see any dramatic trends. Not when it comes to floods, when it comes to droughts, when it comes to wildfires, when it comes to storms. You can't see the trends, which is a bit surprising given what's written in the headlines of the media. But it's always like that. So it's very, very difficult to see the whole picture if you only read the media. To deduct every event, every extreme weather event, as a result of our releasing of CO2, every extreme weather event, a result of us driving fossil fuel cars, for instance, releasing CO2, is actually having a filter before your eyes and using your hammer, which is the only tool you have. I have an analogy here, which is a little bit mean perhaps, but I think I will use it anyway because I think you can see my point here. If you look at the xenophobic populists, you know that they are blaming almost all societal problems on immigration. Immigrants are the cause of all problems in the world, according to the xenophobic populists. So they attribute all crime, all order problems in the suburbs where there are a lot of immigrants to immigration itself. And it is as if, the immigrants themselves are causing this problem. They never talk about integration problems, for instance, which is something that more liberal-minded people, when it comes to immigration like myself, would say is a bigger problem, or is the actual problem here, not the immigrants themselves. It's not the human beings that are the problem, it's structural things. But these people are doing exactly the same thing as the mainstream media often are doing when it comes to climate, attributing everything that's happening to one single problem, one single factor. And that is using the only tool you have. Everything looks like a nail if you only have a hammer. I hope that was helpful to some of you. I hope you get the analogy. That was what I wanted to talk about today. Have a nice week now. Thank you. Bye-bye.